One, like I said, y'all, man, I told you, I usually have a picture in front of this, so you don't see this right now. Can you see me?
Can't see you.
Well, well, if you can't see me, too bad. If you can't see me, too bad. Roll it. All right, what's going on, people? What's going on? You got a little 5 seconds of fame from me, your host, Six Man K Styles. We heavy hitters bringing it to you on Wednesday. Like I said, I got Mad Mike Sports to my stage right, who decide to be on the anonymous side of the game right now.
Yeah, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm angry. No, I'm just kidding.
And all the
Oh,
way,
Jesus, the world is over. Oh, they bitch desperate. Oh, man, Mike is about to commit suicide. Yeah, sure.
even we ain't goofies like that. But all the way to the end of the screen, we have the minister, Jude Talk Sports in the building. And we have a couple special guests for the people, man. We got a couple representatives from the Minnesota Vikings. Fellas, let you go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? Jason Brown here from the Climbing the Pocket podcast, and yeah, excited to be on the show. Well, I grew up in Atlanta, so Falcons have a special place in my heart, except for this Sunday. So, excited to talk about the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we're ready to spank that Viking ass, but we definitely appreciate that. But let's be for real. And then my friend,
What's
tell
up,
me who
guys?
you are, man.
I'm Tyler Ireland. I'm a writer for the Daily Norseman and Purple PTSD. Happy to be on the show.
All right, we appreciate y'all coming on, man. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So as we already know, some very interesting news that actually happened for both teams. So I want to get everybody's thoughts on this. As we already know, Mike, Jew, we have already figured out, Taylor Heineke has been named the number QB1, excuse me, for the Atlanta Falcons. Gonna get y'all takes on that. What do y'all think on that, man?
Um, as I stated earlier, I think it's the right decision as far as where the team is at, as far as trying to figure out what exactly is wrong, whether it's the timing of the offense or it's just the fact that this team is at a position offensively where the young guys, the Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Drew Dahlman, are those guys under developing? Are they not? Are they developing at a pace where it's a lot slower than what they originally thought they would be? Because you look at the offense with a younger quarterback, yeah, these guys make a lot of plays, but with a veteran quarterback, with Taylor Heineke, those guys just like it's almost like he thinks for them. They don't have to think things through. So you look at this past game with Taylor Heineke in, he got the ball out a lot faster. A lot of these guys, he knows how to throw guys open in the NFL, a trait for most young quarterbacks that kind of, they don't have that. They have kind of have to grow into those aspects of the NFL game because that's about the NFL game. It's like, all right, you're on your own for the most part to kind of figure things out, and that usually comes with experience. But when you have a veteran quarterback like Taylor Heineke, who's been in the league for a while, he knows those, those tricks of the trade, so to speak. So um, I know this is an unconventional move for the most part, um, especially for the Atlanta Falcons. because we haven't been in this position in over 14 years, 15 years. So this is something that that is new to a lot of Falcons fans. But I think Arthur has to figure out what's going on with this offense, and like I think it's the right move as of right now to figure things out, because you want to know, you want to go into the off season to figure, all right, should we get a veteran quarterback or should we get a young quarterback, a guy that can get it. So I think it's the right move, but it's risky as hell, and he's going to look like a complete moron if Taylor Heineke ends up bombing. So yeah, it's a highly complex decision.
All right. What you got on that, Drew?
Y'all can tell by how I'm looking. I don't like the move at all. To be completely honest with you guys. But at the end of the day, you guys always know I always say trust the process. That I'm gonna do everything in my power to let these coaches coach. They're at practice every day. They see the behind the scenes of things that we don't see. Personally, I would have given Desmond Ritter the whole season to try to continue to develop. I really couldn't give you guys my thoughts last week. I wasn't on the post game show, but I'll keep it short. Just from what I've seen with Taylor Heineke, and you guys mentioned this earlier this week, he's a veteran. When he got in the game, he knows where to go with the football. He got the ball out of his hands quick, fast, in a hurry. But I really feel like Mike was saying, it's just a really risky move at this point, because I feel like now if Taylor Heineke plays well, you're not going back to Desmond Ritter. So to me, you still don't know what you have in him. So I don't really, of course, don't feel like Taylor Heineke is the answer like permanently as our starter. So even if he goes on like a crazy win streak, what do we have in Desmond Ritter? What are you going to do with Desmond Ritter? Is he now just a permanent backup? And then you're going to go in the draft and go after another quarterback, because we know that Taylor Heineke is not a franchise type guy. So at this point, I'm just going to take it week by week. I do think Taylor Heineke gives us a great chance to win this game, because we know that Kirk Cousins is out. If Kirk Cousins was in this game, then I would be even more like hesitant, because Kirk Cousins was playing well before he got injured. So going into this game, it's going to be the game of the backups, the backup quarterback. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to trust the process, trust these coaches. If he wants to grow with Taylor Heineke, I'm going to support whoever's at that starting quarterback position. So I'm going to support the team, and we're going to go from there, week by week basis. I do think Taylor Heineke is more than capable, but I still am not going to sleep on Desmond Ritter, because I still don't know what he is. Let's just be real. I still don't know what he is.
Okay. All right. So,
what's going on?
what, Don, you got something? You got something you want to say?
Yeah. What's good, y'all? This is the Don. I know I'm late to the party, but to add to what y'all said, Drew, man, why you got to be so foul with it, man? For one. But anyway, I'm just appalled by the situation. I'm not mad because of Ritter sitting. I've seen this episode before. And the episode that I seen was the 2019 Tennessee Titans. All right. They know they started the season with Marcus Mariota, and then he got benched in favor for Ryan Tannehill, and they never looked back. All right. Arthur Smith came to Atlanta with an agenda to run his offense the way he wants to. All right. Now, of course, after the first year, we traded Matt Ryan away. We wanted to start anew. We brought in Marcus Mariota to see if he can, resurge his career, which clearly that did not work out at all. And the last 4 games of last season, we had Desmond Ritter, which we ended the season off on a positive note. He went, he won 2, lost 2. All right. Season started. We're 4-4 right now. And yes, Heineke came in the second half last week, and I don't want to get too much into the semantics of how the scheme was different when Heineke got in the game, because clearly everybody saw that. I even talked to NFL legends, And they even said the same thing, that the scheme was totally different when Heineke came in the second half versus Desmond Ridder playing that first half. But I will say this: the theory of Arthur Smith and him trying to develop a quarterback, I feel like those days are over. I'm gonna piggyback what Drew said earlier. He said that maybe if Heineke does not play well down the stretch, we're gonna probably have to look towards the draft to get another quarterback. I know that sounds dumb right now, but you got to look at every aspect of it. But if we do that, I'm going to say this: if we do that, we need to bring in a consultant or a quarterbacks coach who has a good track record of developing NFL quarterbacks. All right. Because I think the experiment of Arthur Smith trying to develop a quarterback, that's over now. It's over. All right. And what Mike said earlier about, this is brand new. And I said this, I think last year, we got to deal with being uncomfortable because we done got spoiled so long. 14 years, having a future Hall of Fame quarterback, under center here in Atlanta. And then, we did have Vic for, several years here in Atlanta as well. Yeah, we had that 07 outlier season when we had Harrison and Leftwich and everything. So it's a new day. I said this earlier too. This is like within the past year, we done had 3 starting quarterbacks. That's unfamiliar here in Atlanta. So,
well, speaking of having a quarterback
Let's
situation,
talk about the Vikings. I want to hear their misery. I'm tired of hearing about our misery. All right, the hell with you.
Yeah, who's the new man? Hey, who's the new man for the Minnesota Vikings? That's what I want to know.
God damn it, y'all! Let me go ahead.
He's a damn host, man.
Let me go ahead and set it up, man. Damn it! All right, my bad, y'all. But yeah, so we see. Okay, so now going on to y'all. I know y'all got kind of a quarterback situation going on now here. Like I said, unfortunately, Kirk Cousins get hurt the week before. So you thinking that you're going there with a rookie quarterback, was it Jaron Hall? But yet y'all trade for Joshua Dobbs. So I want to go ahead and get y'all takes on that, man, and see how y'all feel about that.
I mean, Jaron Hall, I know that there's some folks on Vikings Twitter and other places that were really excited about this draft pick. Maybe he's a 5th rounder for a reason. He's a little older, but he's a smart quarterback, works hard. All the players say he's the last person on the field after practice pretty much every week, putting in the work. And so, I mean, we're gonna see. He came out, had the fumble, little turnover when he got in the game last week. Hopefully, with a full week of practice, actually getting some reps with the ones, things will look a little bit different for him when we come out this game. Smart player, limited physically, so he needs to play with anticipation. If he plays slow, there may be some opportunities for the Falcons to take the ball away in this game. But hopefully, with the week, we're gonna see him out there with a game plan that'll accentuate what he does well and put him in a good position to succeed. But yeah, based on the way the Falcons actually play defense and the way that y'all switch up your scheme on defense, this is the type of game, even though we're favored going in, that does make me a bit nervous because you play the type of defense that can confuse a young quarterback. And so, yeah, quite a bit less confident about this game than I was, say, a week ago, if we were talking about it then.
Okay. So what you got, Tyler?
So Jason was talking about how some people on Twitter are really high on Jaron Hall. I'm most certainly one of them. Ever since the draft, Jaron Hall, out of all the mid-round quarterbacks from that draft class, he was probably my favorite one. So to see the Vikings draft him, I was just super excited. And I'm very much looking forward to this game because Jaron Hall is playing. I know there's a lot of people who are upset that Kirk is out for the year. And don't get me wrong, I feel awful about the way that ended, and I wish nothing but the best for Kirk. But I'm not going to lie. I'm just super excited to see Jaren Hall go out there and play. I believe Jason, right? That's Jason Brown. Yeah, I believe he said something about his physicality or like his physical attributes being
His tool set, yeah, he doesn't have the greatest set of tools.
I feel like that's debatable because his RIS score was really good. Like he's fairly athletic. The only thing that you can knock him for is his size and his injury history. But from a physical standpoint, I feel like he was really good coming out of college. The thing I worry about what you said was the anticipation. He is a bit slow to go through his progressions. It's not like a Justin Fields thing where, he's a one-read quarterback and he's struggling with that. Like he has shown the ability to go through his reads. He's just a bit slow at it. So against a tough Falcons defense, that's something that's going to have to be a priority for Hall is to get the ball out quickly and, utilize that play action passing game to the best of your ability. He's going to be great on those bootlegs, just with his quickness. So the way I look at Hall is, he's a pro style quarterback. They played a pro style system at BYU. He's got some physical things where, yeah, he's a bit shorter. He's got an injury history, but he's quick. He's actually strong for his size, which I like. And I believe that you can win with Jaren Hall. It's not going to be to the same level as Kirk because he's just such a great passer. But, if you set things up well for him, and I believe the Vikings have that with a great offensive line, they've got a good play caller, in my opinion, in Kevin O'Connell. They've got Addison. They've got Hawkinson. They've got Josh Oliver, who hasn't been utilized enough, in my opinion. And then KJ Osborne's pretty underrated, too. And Jefferson's coming back next week. So he's not going to be in this game, but he's probably back for the Saints. So long-term with Jaren Hall, I could see him riding out the season, even with the Josh Dobbs acquisition.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out on my fantasy team. I'm thinking Josh Dobbs is going to be playing for the Cardinals, and then the very next day I see Minnesota like, what the hell just happened? So I ended up picking up Jaren Hall, and then they talking about Josh Dobbs may play. I'm like, wait a minute. So what's the use? And then now Jaren Hall gonna play. So
our backups are all hurt. So Nick Mullins, who likely would have played, he's injured. So we needed to go and get a depth piece. So Jaren Hall looks good. He might ride out the rest of the season. If he doesn't look so good, maybe they ride with the veteran and see if they can save the season with Josh Dobbs.
I say
anyone but Sean Mannion. So if you know, you've had to watch Sean Mannion as the Vikings backup quarterback for a couple of years. He's just awful.
Oh,
that name just sounds horrible right there.
Yeah.
He is the definition of I only have a job because Kirk Cousins likes me in the quarterback room.
Oh, wow.
He's great to have in the quarterback room, but out on the field, no. If you're relying on Sean Mannion, your season is over.
Yeah. Jaren Hall was one of those guys I did like too. Honestly, he was a better quarterback than Zach Wilson at BYU, but that's another video, another topic for another day. But yeah, so I'm glad y'all said that too, because we're gonna lead straight into the keys of victory. So we can get more in depth on this game here. So you pretty much have two teams that need a win right now, just for the momentum's sake. So let's go ahead and get these keys of victory out the way. And Jason, I'm gonna let you kick us off, man. What is your key to victory for the Vikings against the Falcons, man? What you got?
We got to play a clean game. Like, it is something the Vikings have actually struggled to do this year, even with Kirk Cousins in there. But we need to hold on to the ball, especially now. Like when Kirk was playing, you probably had a bit more wiggle room in that if you got behind, you could still rely on the passing game to come back. I don't think we're going to have that same luxury with a rookie Jaren Hall in there. So Vikings need to play ball control, hold on to the ball, sustain drives, and mostly just play clean football. We can't turn the ball over like we have most of this season.
Okay.
I would say one key to the game too is stop Bijan Robinson. I mean, that guy is just an absolute monster at running back, and we have had trouble stopping the run at times. And I think he's the best running back we will play thus far in the season. So if you're going to make it super easy for the Falcons to just run the ball all over you, I don't care if it's Bijan Robinson, if it's is Algier playing or Cordell. I don't know if they're healthy or not, but they've got some good rushers in Atlanta. So don't make it easy for Heineke to just, third and short, second and short. All he has to do is make a check down because the run game is so good. So, if you can take away that from Atlanta, which will be very difficult, you can kind of make them one-dimensional on offense. So that would be my key to the game, is just stopping the run.
Okay. All right, Jude. What you would want to kick it off the Falcon side of the game, man? What's your key to victory, man?
So he just alluded to it. In this game, we're gonna have to come out and run the ball. Like last week, I really feel like we did ourselves a disservice and not running the ball well, catching the ball, all of those punts that we had within our own 10, 15-yard line for whatever reason. But I feel like in this game, it's not going to just come down to running the ball, but getting Tyler Algier and Cordell Patterson involved early in the game. Last week, it seems like for whatever reason, we started the game where it was pretty much the Bijan Robinson show, and he was the only one getting carries in the first half for whatever reason. But I feel like in this game, you got to use Cordell Patterson and Tyler Algier because those guys just run with a different type of aggression. We know Bijan Robinson, the guy that'll make you miss. He can be physical at times, but they got some dogs over there in the Minnesota Vikings. Danielle Hunter is currently leading the league in sacks. So last week, Tennessee, to me, came out and set the tone and basically won the trenches. And in this game, we got to establish, we talked about our offensive line struggling, but we got to come out and attack these guys and be physical by running the football. Let these offensive linemen come off the ball. We don't want these guys backpedaling because I seen some plays or some screenshots on Twitter of Danielle Hunter lined up over the guard in the center. And that scared the living daylights out of me with Drew Dahlman. We know the weak point of our offensive line. So I'm sure they're going to have Danielle Hunter moving all over the place. So if we're going to do anything in this game, don't let Danielle Hunter ruin this game because he's one of those guys that, as I mentioned last week about Jeffrey Simmons ruining the game and wrecking the game, those guys wrecked the game early. And I really feel like it was because we didn't get the Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson, get those guys involved early and let them guys be physical, let that offensive line come off the ball and be aggressive. So in this game, we're going to have to come out and set the tone in the run game. And I mean running at the teeth of their defense. Not too many zone stretch runs and tosses. You got to be physical and allow Tyler Algier to go north and south, allow Cordell Patterson and those guys to oppose their will and allow that offensive line to throw those body blows because we want to wear down that Vikings defensive line. Don't allow those guys to pin their ears back like we seen the Titans do last week.
Don, I want to let you go ahead and get your key out the way, man. So, Don, what you think about this matchup?
Key to victory for us, Arthur Smith has to be on point with calling the game to win the game on offense. I'm not really concerned about the defensive side of the ball. I'm really not. Even though we lost Grady Jarrett, I really feel like we can hold our opponents around under 20 points. I just need him to, if the run game is working, continue to run the ball. Don't shy away from it. Don't get too cute. Just run the ball. So I noticed when Minnesota played San Francisco, was it last week, I believe? San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan, he went away from that run game, and you see what happened. So we can't do this. We can't make the same mistake that Kyle Shanahan did. We have to run the ball because when San Francisco was running the ball, they was really getting 4 yards a carry, 4 or 5 yards a carry, I believe. That's good. So, and we got a three-headed monster here in Atlanta if we can utilize it the right way.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. All right, Mike, what you got for us, man? What you got?
All of you guys suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. Just took everything. You just left me with scraps and pennies and nickels all on the thing. I want $100 bills, okay? I want $100 bills, y'all.
So,
Um, I think it's fairly simple for this particular game. Just find a rhythm. Find a way to get the ball in the hand of the playmakers, the Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, whether or not he plays. We'll see. He's suffering with a growing issue, so again, we'll see how that goes. Van Jefferson, I want him on the bench. Like you ruin our flow all at the end of the game, dropping that simple, easy pass. But I think it's simple, man. Just get the ball into Bijan's hands, get the ball into Tyler's hands, and just use the veteran to make those simple throws. Don't try to do too much because at this point, you got to figure out what's actually the issue. If the Falcons continue to turn the ball over, then we know this is one of those stretches where it's not so much the players. It's just sometimes weird things happen in football where you just go through these periods where you turn the ball over 3, 4 times week after week after week, and it's just, you know, um, it's just it's weird. NFL is like that. I mean, who the hell would have saw the Chiefs lose to some fucking Denver Broncos? Like, who would have saw that shit? Like, let's be real. I'm sorry, fellas, but that really like this is the NFL right now. We've seen some weird crap. So I just think is just simplify the offense, run the ball. Both teams run the ball. Don't try to do too much, and just rely on the defenses. I think that's really just the key for both teams. You're dealing with backup quarterbacks for the most part, so simplify. Let the defense lead you, and sometimes that's a great strategy if you have a defense. You have a good front seven. Just rely on your defense to lead you to victory. Sometimes we get too caught up in these big numbers offensively, and you just need to simplify the game. Check the ball down. Use Kyle Pitts as a tight end and not a wide receiver. Use your running backs. Give them 30, 40 carries. For the most part, and just rely on that. Sometimes these coaches can outsmart themselves. So just run the ball, man. Run the freaking ball.
so can I just say it for one the four special words again? Can I say those four special words? Run the damn ball.
Love it.
That's all. That's all that can really be said. Because what they was talking from my perspective, from what they were talking about was when Tyler got in the game last week. They went from trying to throw the ball 65% of the time to being balanced. And this is where that move makes Arthur. They said this is a make or break game, not only for the Falcons itself, but for for the Falcons regime. So I just keep that short and sweet and simple and stuff like that.
I think I forgot something here. This game is going to come down to like Greg Joseph versus Young Hoi Koo. It's just going to be like field goals back and forth because no one's going to be able to score a touchdown with these quarterbacks. Like I could totally see like a missed field goal being the determining factor in who wins and who loses,
Oh
and
my
everyone's going to be
God.
playing.
You just ruined my entire life saying
But
that.
you know
Why
what?
would you say that?
I'm gonna be real with them. Like it ain't a Falcons game if it ain't close.
And
Not a
you just
Vikings
gonna
game if you
pile
don't have a heart
Y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't
Yeah.
right. Y'all ain't right. I ain't lying,
I mean,
but
these are
y'all
two
still ain't.
franchises that have a history of choking, so like it's gonna be so fun. I hope it's super comical throughout the whole game.
Oh man, I'm glad you said that
We
too
don't need
because
that. Oh my
but
God.
but like you said, we pretty much got the keys out the way. Got a couple questions for Jason, Tyler. Whichever one of y'all want to start on this, but man, just coming from y'all perspective as Vikings fans, um, I know everybody loves the prospects of what Randy Moss was, but from a Vikings fan, I want y'all to let us know, the people, that how special of a talent Randy Moss was in y'all's eyes as y'all saw him. Because from the outside world, we just saw him just this phenomenal guy.
Jason, you want to go? Or
Yeah, I can go. I mean, that's why I'm a Vikings fan. If we're being real about it, it's Randy Moss. Like, yeah, like I said, I moved to Atlanta in '92. Kind of followed football, but wasn't that serious about it. And I got to college, folks were like, you got to pick a team and ride. And that was about when Randy Moss was starting to light the league on fire. And I was like, all right, yeah, that's my team. That's the guy. That's my team. And just kind of been riding with the Vikings ever since. So, yeah, Randy coming in, just it was mind blowing the things that he was doing at that time. Like, so that was it. It hooked me. Like, I still got love for the Falcons. Like, I will watch. I don't know why I do that to myself, but like if the Vikings aren't playing like in the 1 o'clock slot, like I watch the Falcons games most of the time. But Randy Moss made me a fan, and like I've been riding with the team ever since.
Yeah, to add on to what Jason was saying, me personally, I wasn't around that much for Randy Moss. Like I saw him a bit play for the Patriots, but you know, I'm a bit young. But I do know this: whenever there's a greatest wide receiver of all time discussion, I always have him ranked number one, just because I'm biased. I know most people have Jerry Rice, but as a Vikings fan, I gotta promote Randy Moss. So, straight cash, homie.
Okay. So would you say that you was more so of the Adrian Peterson era?
Absolutely. Adrian Peterson. Oh my gosh.
Go and speak on it, man.
So Adrian Peterson is a beast. I mean, to tear his ACL and then to come back and run for over 2,000 yards is insane. Especially when you have Christian Ponder at quarterback, who honestly probably gave me PTSD as a kid. Having watched Christian Ponder, you know how bad it was? I was excited when Matt Castle was going to start a game because Ponder was hurt. I wasn't happy that Ponder was hurt from like a human level, but like it's like finally a quarterback that can complete a check down. Like we might be able to convert on third down. Matt Castle at quarterback. I mean, good Lord. And like Ponder's not even the worst Vikings quarterback of all time either. Like Josh Freeman. Like, oh my gosh. Just
Oh Lord.
way too many bad
Hold on.
quarterbacks.
Happy feelings. Don't go no, just go down there. I just heard Christian Ponder. I was like, man, hold on there. We're gonna have a thing.
Yeah, that gave me nightmares.
But yeah, man, Adrian Peterson, but that was just, and then like you said, that was one of those cases around that time where you did have Chester Taylor. He was running pretty well for y'all. But like you said, you already had a foundation on the offensive line, and you had decent amount of pieces where
I
took
love
the
Klein
chance.
Saucer. I like to say his name, but Klein Saucer.
Jim Klein Saucer.
I love Klein Saucer, man. That was my dude. He was a wrecking ball, and he was always hurt too. But his game, I just love his game.
Speaking of tight ends, how do you guys feel about Kyle Rudolph and that overtime touchdown against the Saints? How do you feel about the Vikings constantly beating the Saints in the playoffs?
We love it. We absolutely
we love it.
We absolutely love it. Oh my gosh.
We celebrate it every time. Yeah, y'all gave the new meaning. My heart will go on listening to Celine Dion. y'all gave cause that song is always synonymous with y'all beating the Saints in the playoffs. Every time I see a clip of that shit, they always play Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On" afterwards, and I have a newfound respect for that song. But King Quest here has a question. He said, what would y'all like on the Diggs catch against the Saints, by the way? Because, boy, I know that situation was kind of crucial, and and it came out of nowhere. So what did y'all think about that?
I mean, it was crazy. I don't know if there's any, I mean, it was at that point, like there were folks at the stadium. One of my boys, Yinka, was at the leaving. Like they thought the game was over. I'm sitting at home. I'm pissed. You think, and then it's beautiful. Like he goes not just to make the catch, but to have the presence of mind to stay inbounds, run down, the refs to miss some of the obvious penalties that probably should have been called on players coming and all that other stuff. But yeah, it was a beautiful moment. And it also was kind of that coming out party for Stephon Diggs, letting the whole league know that he was really like that. And
I was hoping
that was
he just
beautiful.
doesn't fall. That's what please don't trip up. Please don't trip up. Please don't trip. That's what I was saying the whole time.
Yeah, and like Zimmer was, pretty much screaming on the sidelines, like, go out of bounds, you need the attempted field goal. For him to have the instinct to basically like go completely against Zimmer, who's just like, who is just such a tough coach, very stern, is awesome. I remember I was in the living room, I'm pacing like crazy. I'm like, okay, we're probably going to lose this game, but I just wanted to watch it till the last second. And boy, was I rewarded. I was going ape shit in the living room. Just like, it felt like a fairy tale. It felt like our year. And then the following week happened. And 38.
I cried for you guys for that one. I'm not crying. I cried for that. That was heartbreaking.
I did
That was
too.
supposed to be our year. We hosted the Super Bowl that year. That was supposed to be ours. We have the storybook, Diggs sideline touchdown, Minneapolis Miracle. We're supposed to beat the Eagles. We're favored in that game. That's a game we should win. And then we're supposed to win the Super Bowl at home, but no, the gods hate us. The football gods hate us. Eagles. I know y'all have some Super Bowl misfortunes as well, but I haven't even seen one in my lifetime. So I just have NFC Championship game misfortunes between 2009 and 2017.
Them goddamn Eagles, man. They ruin everybody.
They ruin everything. But I do want to say this about Diggs' sideline touchdown. Like the memes that happened that day after the game, they had Marcus Williams, the safety of the Saints, right. They had photoshopped him in the shoulder lean video with Dro. But that's why I pissed on myself.
Y'all ain't right. I was like, that ain't right, but that was fucking excuse me. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
All right. My bad. Jew, let's go ahead and get your take of and I forgot to ask y'all too this, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask. I think y'all pretty much done already said it. I was gonna ask like favorite Vikings player of all time and stuff like that. So, you would say Adrian Peterson? Or do you have anything else in mind, Tyler?
Everson Griffin.
I should have known. I should have known it with the jersey hanging up in the background.
As much as I love Adrian Peterson, Everson Griffin, just his story resonates with me personally because he's a guy who is Everson's crazy. There's no way to sugarcoat it. But he's crazy in the best way possible. He's one of those guys who he'll just hype everyone up in the locker room and. Like you see the guy's highs and lows in his career, and it's not like he's the best pass rusher of all time or anywhere close to that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the guy suffers from bipolar disorder, and I have bipolar disorder. So to see someone that plays for your favorite team go through similar struggles with mental illness is it hits home. And we're not the same people. We don't have the same struggles in life. Two completely different walks of life, but it's just mental health. And I have a ton of respect for not only the way he's handled it at his best, but like him allowing himself to be like vulnerable at his lowest is something truly special.
Okay. All right. So, Jew, questions up to you, man. Vikings player, who did you enjoy watching?
Oh man, the Vikings got a lot of players that I enjoyed watching, but I'm gonna name somebody that haven't been mentioned. Jared Allen. To me, he was one of those guys as a pass rusher that he wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest, but he was one of those guys that he was a dog, man. When you talk about energy, when you talk about never giving up on a play, that was Jared Allen. He was one of those guys that was one of the better pass rushers in the game. Didn't have a whole lot of raw talent, but when you turn the tape on, that guy just never gave up. Had a high motor, running down the field, making plays. He was just one of those special guys. So I got to say Jared Allen's one of my favorite Minnesota Vikings. One of the guys that don't get talked about when you talk about great pass rushers for, I say, about the last decade. He was special.
Okay. Mike, what you got? What you got?
I mean, I think I said Jeff Klein also, but I'm a detour from that. I like to see Harrison Smith. Like that he's not exceptional gifted as far as his athleticism is concerned. Um, he's just one of those guys that remind me of John Lynch. He's just always in the right spot in the right place, and he just seems to always make a play, even when you feel it's like, all right, he gave up a big play. He's not playing well, but he's one of those guys that just like he's always in the right place, and it reminds me of a guy like Jesse Tuggle at the end of his career. Didn't he wasn't a great athlete, but he used his IQ and his ability, his awareness, his IQ to just make the right play. And another guy too, Michael Walker just said it. Monk just said it, and that's John Randall. It's like, dude, I thought that dude was. You talk about bipolar. I thought he was bipolar. Like something wrong. It was that dude just wasn't right. John Randall with the war paint or whatever he had it on his face. But yeah, John Randall was like, okay, this dude weird. I thought he was just a weird cat.
Like that, like he's in a ton of like Vikings like hype videos. Like he'll do stuff with the team even now, and he is the same John Randall that he was as a player. Just like in terms of his personality, he is. That is what he's like in real life.
Just know, like I said, that if he's like that in real life, like you said, that's why everybody have to stay on this good side. That boy.
Oh, no, it's not like a dangerous kind of crazy. It's
no.
Yeah.
Right. No. Yeah, that what we said. That's what we said. Because when he was on the field, boy, like you said, he was one of those guys where he was the perfect example. Was it didn't matter where you was drafted. It was how impactful you was, and boy, he was a maniac on that field. You wasn't going past him, or he, like I said, your offensive line had to work that day.
You want to talk about undersized, undrafted players, guys who probably should have gone higher in the draft? Y'all are going to have to deal with Ivan Pace, undrafted free agent this year at inside linebacker. He has been a stud for us.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey was talking on his podcast recently about how much Ivan Pace was a dog when he played him. So for a future Hall of Fame center to be given props to an undrafted rookie linebacker like Ivan Pace is just amazing. Because everyone was saying coming out of college for Pace was like, oh, he's too small. He's going to get washed up in the run game. Like he's not going to translate to the pros. He has been awesome so far. So if the Vikings are going to have to try and stop the run game, you're going to get a heavy dose of Jordan Hicks and Ivan Pace.
Hey, man. Actually, Ivan Pace was actually one of the guys that I was highly of coming out of the draft anyway. I was surprised he got drafted as low as he did, to be honest with you. I would have thought he'd at least been a little bit more on the mid-tier side of the game. That man, damn near fell out. But
rounder on him, because he was super productive at Cincinnati.
Right. All right, Don. Who's your favorite? Here you go. Question. So, Don, what Michigan player played for
All right,
the
y'all know me so well. Oh, y'all know me so well. I love y'all all. I love y'all all. So my favorite Minnesota Viking player of all time, I got two, but one of them is my favorite of all time. AC Anthony Carter, 3-time Pro Bowler. Like he was a dog. He was a dog at receiver for you guys back in the late 80s and early 90s. You remember Anthony Carter? I know you don't.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
He's young,
He's young.
but he's like in the 50. He's like part of the Minnesota Vikings 50 all 50 team.
Okay.
Not everybody keep up with it. I don't even keep up with the all 50 Falcons. I mean,
But that's the thing. Like he's one of the 50 greatest Vikings of all time. So yes, he ain't somebody that just went to Michigan that I just called. So I like him. But another person that was good for you guys, especially in that 09 season, that y'all should have went to the Super Bowl, and y'all let me down. I'm not gonna say Brett Favre, but he helped Brett Favre, and that guy Steve Hutchinson, like one of the best tackles to ever play the game.
You ain't lying about that.
I love me some Steve Hutchinson.
You not lying about that. Cause hey, I think what was it, around that point in time they had Steve Hutchinson. Was Matt Burt still on there? He was on the end years around that time. 09.
I believe so.
Yeah. But like I said, Minnesota's always had good offensive linemen. They always predicated their teams around that. So, hey, Tyler, so somebody asked a question. Albert Sandoval said, was there a Falcon player that you like watching?
I'd be cheating if I said Cordero Patterson, would I?
Hey,
I absolutely love Cordero.
Hey, there you go.
I'm just gonna take a Falcon who wasn't previously a Viking because I don't want to cheat and do someone who is a Viking as a rookie. Let me think. I have always respected Grady Jarrett, and it's a shame that he's not playing this game. And I think Matt Ryan is very overhated just because of 28-3. I don't even think that was his fault. Like your defense in that Super Bowl was just down the stretch, not good. I feel like y'all should have won that first Super Bowl. So I have a ton of respect for Matt Ryan because he's very similar to Kirk in his career trajectory. Probably not the best quarterback, but I mean, the dude was super consistent. And, you know, no one ever complained about Matt Ryan and his work ethic. It was always just super positive. And the same can be said for Kirk. Roddy White would be a good one, too. I'm just super consistent there. But yeah, you know, Falcons I feel like the Falcons as a franchise are just very similar to the Vikings. We'd be like siblings almost because it's just like the same, like,
torture.
You know, struggles. And, you know, everyone kind of makes fun of you for choking in these games. And, you know, how long have the Falcons been around? I feel like it's been a while and still no Super Bowl. It's the same in Minnesota. We've been around
66.
The 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 66. Y'all came in the league in 60.
Yeah.
So
and I can't emphasize enough how much I enjoy just coming together with Falcons fans and making fun of the Saints. I really enjoy it. And not even just Falcons fans. I mean, it's Falcons fans especially because the Falcons Saints rivalry is so deep. But like I live in Central Florida, so I encounter quite a few like Buccaneers fans, and just to chat with them, and they talk about how much they hate the Saints too. So it's like I hate them so much. I hate the Saints so much. I was 9 years old that NFC Championship game. I was 9 years old. It would have been one thing if they just beat us and we just choked, but they cheated. They fucking cheated. had a whole bounty program. Like, how are you going to respect the integrity of that
Yes, they
franchise after
did. They did.
There you go. They
And
go let it all out.
Like, oh, Katrina, you know, you gotta give the Saints that Super Bowl because you got Katrina, and it's like, man, I hate the Saints, man, so much. I could go on forever.
Yeah, that bounty gate thing was kind of messed up for a lot of the teams. Like you said, that suffer from it. Like you said, you saw the Cardinals go through it. You saw y'all go through it, and it was like, hey, y'all had to resort to that.
Don wants me to the Juicy Lucy.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about because that's a famous, I guess, place to eat. Well, burger in Minneapolis. So, what's some good places to get the Juicy Lucy? Minneapolis is like one city I have not been to yet. I just know Juicy Lucy and Lotus Fish. Huh?
Yeah, so Minneapolis is a great city. So you know it's the Twin Cities because you also have St. Paul and there's the Mississippi River goes in between. But as far as Juicy Lucy's are concerned, Matt's Bar is the first place you got to go. It's pretty much a dive bar. They only accept cash. They claim to have invented it. And then there's also the 5'8 Club who also claims to have invented it. No one knows who actually did. So there's a ton of places. Matt's 5'8, the Nook. You know, I'm missing a lot more, but for me personally, I like Matt's Bar. It's simple. There's no frills. It's literally just, you know, the Juicy Lucy and some pickles. So I just like that dive bar environment. And there's so many frames on the wall from, you know, all the good press and all the famous people who have gone there. So if you're just looking for like a basic, authentic Juicy Lucy, Matt's for me.
Can you explain what a Juicy Lucy is to people that are watching the show?
So a Juicy Lucy is basically a cheeseburger that's stuffed with cheese. So instead of like putting a cheese on top of like the meat, like you normally do with a burger, you stuff it inside. So like you take the ground beef and, you know, you indent a little hole in it and you put like a ball of cheese in there. And then, you know, you put the other side of meat on it.
That sounds like
Put it on the grill. And then when it's done, the cheese oozes out like it's a liquid. It's liquid cheese.
Yes.
And it's super molten hot. But it's absolutely delicious because it's just like a burst of cheese that just engulfs your mouth when you bite into that thing. So
you're not helping us.
Man, that's so good, man. That's a fat man paradise right there for me, boy. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna have to go to Minneapolis one day just to go out there and try all the establishments that serve the Juicy Lucy, and I'll figure out which one's good. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be the next Keith Lee. I promise you that.
So we're gonna do diners, dive-ins, and drives, AFN style. That's what you're saying?
You're done pulling up on the restaurant. That's what it's
Oh yeah, that's
I've driven through Atlanta once on my way down to Florida. Are there any places that like you got to eat at when you're in Atlanta? Like
don't go to the Varsity. Everybody gonna say the Varsity? No, this is the places that you want to go to. All right.
Oh my God, this is a sports show, okay?
He asked.
He asked.
Hungry. We got to talk about food.
Whole list. He's done, but go ahead. Never mind. Let me get hush. Okay.
All right. A good place to go to would be everybody talking about Mary Matt's Tea Room. You can probably go there if you want to get some soul food. A good place for me is Twin Smokes downtown by State Farm Arena. They got some good barbecue. And it's Atlanta's it's becoming more of a melting pot city of like a lot of different cuisines. I know a lot of people, you know, K Styles and Jew and Matt Mike, they can kind of allude to that. So,
Right. Yeah.
but stay away from the varsity.
Like I said, Vortex.
Stay away from varsity. Okay.
Yep.
Vortex is definitely good. Little 5 points.
Mhm.
It's been a while since I really got a chance to really go out and eat anywhere. But yeah, like I said, Vortex pretty good. I'm probably Don ain't got no other more restaurants. So shit, I need to be looking at you, seeing where we need to goddamn
Oh,
be
he
eating.
got him. No, no, trust me, he got him.
He got him.
It's a lot of places, but it's not enough time to sit here and just talk
Yeah,
about every
Yeah,
Right.
it's a big
You know
city. It's
what
not
I'm saying?
like
Right. Yeah.
I don't know where
Yeah.
Atlanta ranks population wise, but it's big.
All right. So everybody that's in the chat, we definitely appreciate y'all. So hey, y'all go ahead and ask some questions, Q&A us right now. Yeah, I about lost track because I was thinking we had another show afterwards. But I'm like, nah, man, we got about 20 more minutes. So everybody start asking some questions here, man. And like I said, Q&A, if you got some more questions for Tyler, whether you got some more questions for Jude, Mike, me, or Don, this is y'all time. So we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in.
How
And
many
make sure
people
y'all
we got in
hit
the chat? You guys got a good fan base going on. 59. Nice, man. Nice. 59.
Hey, man. Hey, look. Hey, look. I think you might be popular right now because since you admitted to the whole to our fan base that you hate the Saints. Oh, they love you right now. They love you
I
right now.
gotta pull up the live chat computer here. I kind of want to see what people are saying.
But
y'all sent me the DM like the I want to hear
right.
from y'all here.
All right.
Thoughts on Ritter? Will he be a Pro Bowler or a superstar? That's up to Desmond Ritter, man. It's like I think he could get, especially us, twisted because we stand behind certain guys, and we like to point out what their strengths are. Um, but when it comes down to player, whether it be a Pro Bowl or a superstar, it really up to the players and their work ethic. Like we can sit up here and give our takes and our thoughts of what his strengths and weaknesses are. But if he wants to become a superstar, he has to get in the gym and spend time outside in the off season working on his craft. So that's up to Desmond Ritter. If he wants to be a good player, he's going to have to take this benching to heart, get better, work on in the off season. He's gonna have to, just become the best player that he thinks he come because it comes all in hard work. Tom Brady didn't become, a legend because he quit because he wasn't getting but a handful of reps. I think he was getting like 3 or 4 reps. And his was it, I believe his freshman year, he was getting like 3 reps or so. And then the coach was like, look, you got to make sure those 3 reps that you get are your best reps. And that's what he did. So whatever you're getting, you have to make the most of them. So right now, Desmond has to show that he can stand behind and not pull that punk move that Marcus Mariota did and quit on the team. He got to become the best cheerleader on the bench right now. I mean, that's where it starts. You got to get in the film, become an aid to the offense. So like that's where it starts, man. It starts with him. So I can give my thoughts, but it's up to Desmond Ritter at this point where he becomes.
All right. We got some more questions here. I'm gonna let you hit this one up. Said, do you think we use 2 running backs in the backfield this game? Do you replace Cordero with Bijan for the wide receiver routes?
So for the first question, you definitely got to use all 3 of your running backs. I keep saying that, like, for whatever reason, we can't just play Bijan in the first half. You got to keep rotating. I would do the same thing like we're doing with our defensive line on the defense, where they're rotating those guys in and out to keep them fresh. I definitely think that we need to see all 3, CP, Bijan, Tyler Algier. We need to see all 3 of those guys. And then the second question, as far as CP replacing Bijan, for whatever reason, Bijan's a rookie. So last week he made a lot of key mistakes when Desmond Ridder was trying to get the ball out of his hands fast. He wasn't turning around quick enough on those hot reads. So I definitely think you got to use your veterans. Use CP. We know CP is probably the better receiver out of the three guys because he's a veteran. But I've seen Tyler Algier this year as well make some key catches as well. Like he's gotten a lot better at being able to catch the ball out of the backfield. So I feel like you got to use all three of those guys. But I definitely would, think that Bijan got to work on, getting his head around quicker because that pressure is coming. So you got to get your heads turned around. You can't just be running down the field nonchalantly. The ball comes out a lot quicker in the NFL. So you got to be ready. And sometimes you got to break your route off. And I think at this point, he's still wet behind the ears, still a rookie. So he's still trying to figure out the speed of the game. It's not as, the NFL is a lot quicker than college. So I really feel like CP definitely, him and Tyler Algier kind of got the leg up because they're, veteran guys at this point. So I think you use all three running backs in both phases. I mean, I feel like Arthur Smith, for whatever reason, he got to go back to the drawing board.
You definitely don't want to pigeonhole the running backs and say okay, we're going to use Bijan as a receiver and we're going to run Algier north-south and we're going to use Cordero on jet sweeps or whatever as Joker, So, because I feel like, all those guys are good at specific things, but I think they're all good enough to be versatile. Like, why not have two running backs out there and act like you're going to pass it to Bijan Robinson, and then you pass it to Algier. Or maybe you run Bijan inside a little bit more, or maybe you use Cordero as a running back. What if you went Wildcat? That would be so fun in this offense too. Have one of those running backs go under center and devise some trick plays. And then even outside the running backs too, can you get Kyle Pitts involved? I'm just asking for fantasy purposes because I know Jonnu Smith is really good, but respectfully, you drafted Kyle Pitts in the first round and you're not using him. So please do.
Oh man, but he's making a lot of sense coming from a Vikings content creator. This is the same stuff we've been talking about in our chats.
This is what we talk about all the time. Yeah. But Tyler, speaking of rookies, so what is your thoughts on Jordan Addison and how he has stepped into his role with Justin Jefferson being out for a little bit?
I'm very pleasantly surprised. So the thing with Addison I was concerned about was I knew he was going to be good. I knew he was going to be a good receiver because he won the Biletnikoff. He's a great route runner. He's got good hands. I thank God the Chargers drafted Quentin Johnston. I wanted nothing to do with him. Everyone was talking about how Quentin Johnston was the best receiver because of all the physical traits, but he's 6'4" and he plays like he's 5'11". So I didn't want any part of that. But the thing I was concerned with Addison was can he be a number one guy? Can he win in press coverage? Because he's a light receiver. He's not the strongest guy. When you challenge him, one-on-one in press coverage, can he win that rep? And ever since Jefferson has gone down, he has found ways to just stuff the stat sheet. And, he was cooking Jair Alexander last game. Jair Alexander, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL with no safety help. Addison was cooking him. And all of the attention was on Addison, too. It's not like Jefferson was there. Hawkinson, you're really only using over the middle. Oliver, they're really only using in the flat and as a blocker. So Addison had all this attention, and he just exceeded expectations. I mean, he's racking up touchdowns. He's consistent, on conversions as well. So he's becoming more and more reliable for Kirk at the time, and now eventually Jaron and whoever's at quarterback. On third down, you just need someone who's going to make a play. Jordan Addison, he's starting to prove that he's going to be a great wide receiver in this league, and I'm just super excited to continue to watch his development.
You know what? I would like for us to activate Clark Phillips III in this game and go head up against Addison.
Oh yeah, you said that them college battles was a mud between those two. Them
But you
college
guys have
battles.
wait. Who did you say? He said Clark Phillips.
Yes.
Mhm.
He was
Clark.
nice.
Did you go back? Did you watch the tape? Did you watch the Utah and USC game, the Pac-12 championship game from last year?
Not that specific game, but I vaguely remember Clark Phillips in the draft because he kind of fit like that Zimmer mold of corners where he's just like super physical, and I liked him, so there was that. But yeah, Clark Phillips is versus Addison will be fun to watch.
All right, fellas, we're gonna go ahead and wind it down for the night. Like I said, Tyler, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate Jason coming on as well. He had a family emergency he had to take care of, so definitely shout out to both of y'all. So
Appreciate
Tyler,
you guys having me, man.
hey man, no problem, man. Let you go ahead and plug yourself away. Tell them where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, you guys can find me at Tyler Ireland NFL on Twitter. And pretty much any social platform. Although I don't use TikTok, I don't use Instagram really for sports. But Tyler Ireland NFL. So that's where you can find me, y'all.
Okay. And like you said, man, we got make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the Heavy Hitters live channel as well. We are closing in on the 500 mark, which we definitely appreciate y'all doing so. But definitely also make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the Don's Favor. The Don is back, y'all. Make sure you go ahead. He ain't never left. But you make sure you go subscribe to the Don's Favor. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Jew Talk Sports, Mad Mike Sports, Mad Mike Network, and 6Man Styles. And 6MKENT. Well, whatever we got both of the channels running. So until next time, people, we ain't here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah, dig it.
You ain't gotta go home.
But I'm about to make me a plate of dinner.
Oh my God. Let me.
But you got to get the hell up out of here. Oh yeah.
See, if Don ran the damn world, man, we all
Be 500 pounds with heart attack every 5 seconds.
It'll be my 600-pound life everywhere.
Mhm.
All right, y'all.
Juicy Lucy's.
Yes. Juicy Lucy.
Oh my God.
See.